my favorite things that I've ever gotten to see in person is the Gauntlet. I was on the set of Infinity War, and they told me all day, "There's no Gauntlet, there's no Gauntlet," and I was like, "There has to be a Gauntlet. Let me see this thing." And then you came rolling it out like it was in like a Infinity Gauntlet version of a guitar case. It was the coolest thing I ever saw. Um, like, how often did the Gauntlet get used in the movie at all? Like the practical version, because they made the small one for Brolin, which was really just for Brolin, but this big one that was fully formed and had the lights and everything. How often did you use that?
We use that every single take that the Gauntlet is involved with, in that we do a lighting reference. We take it out, we turn on the lights, we spin it around, all for the post-production folks to have to model it and rebuild it. So in every environment, we pulled out the 35-pound Thanos size, made of brass and copper by a blacksmith, Tony Swatton, in Glendale now, I think. Every single take of every single shot that comes out, we do a reference. So we built 2 of those. Don't know where they are in the world now, but they go out on tour all the time for people to see. We're very proud of them. They also house, as you know, all the Infinity Stones. And then, yes, Brolin really, for his character, wanted to be able to interact. And so we made a miniature version for him that he wore most of the day. Like, he really didn't care to take it off. Once he had it on, even in between takes, when he went to the restroom, when he went to the craft service table, whatever it was, he would keep that on most of the day.
Dude, so does that mean that like Thanos's kind of helicopter blade sword weapon also existed for lighting reference? Did you all actually create that?
That is correct. So we designed it all on paper. We build, the post-production world still allows us the creativity, the creative design elements. They don't want to take that over ever. And so they have the artists, create the first model for everything. And we use that. We scan it, by the way. So I make it the proper scale, the right size and the right weight and the right finishes. And if there are lights in it, I put the lights in it. That they use to scan, and we do all our lighting reference the same way I described about the Infinity Gauntlet. And
so I want to know how that blade was described to you. Like, is this like a cosmic metal, like an earthbound metal? Because that's something that I don't know if we've heard about.
Yeah, no, it wasn't so much about who made it. It's about what's going to look good on this gigantic character, right? And so really at the drawing board, we played with that. We played with gigantic hammers and axes, and there was many iterations of it until we finally came to a place of that blade. And originally that blade was just a single blade with a handle at the end. And I always like to take it to the next level. As you give a director 5 choices, and if they pick one that they like, you're in good shape, right? So one of my choices was to do a double handle.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's I have a similar story about Star Trek and the phasers that we made with J.J. Abrams. But I take it to that next level, and that's the one that made it for Thanos.
Good work, sir.
Yeah, and there's great stuff. Like, let me just leave you with one. We were doing Thor 1, and Kevin Feige came up to me and said, "Hey man, can you make us a gauntlet? It should be metal, do it out of copper, put some stones in it, and it's just going to be in the background. It's a little teaser." And I was like, in the thick of it, right? I'm designing Thor, Odin's spear, and like Thor's hammer for the first time, and trying to figure out what Asgard even meant. And so I was like, "Sure, Kevin, sure. How long do I have? A couple of weeks? Okay, sure, we'll do that." And so we banged it out. We did it. We made our first gauntlet. I never knew that the gauntlet was going to have its own movie. And I learned that day that anything they ask me to do could be a character in a film, it could be a huge prop, whatever it is. It eventually is going to come back, multiplied in importance. And so everything I do, I treat like it's the biggest thing in the world.